Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Crochet and Coffee here, and today we're doing our Wip N Chat, so pull out whatever it is you're working on and work along with me. Today I will be talking to you about the MRI I got yesterday, which was Monday. Today is Tuesday that I'm recording this. Does anybody else feel like they've had their 90-day trial of 2020 and they're ready to cancel their subscription? Raise your hands. So yesterday was a weird adventure. We got to go to the kids' school and pick up their stuff for homeschooling. That was an adventure in itself. They somehow have misplaced Maggie's emergency meds. I'm not sure how you misplace an envelope with a syringe and a vial of medication, but somehow they misplaced it. No worries. We have an extra one here at the house, but we had an extra one given to us so that we could give it to the school for Maggie. And I gotta make sure I'm not mixing drills here. And somehow they have misplaced it. And I was like, well, if you happen to find it, you got my number, so just let me know. Because I'm pretty sure they're not going to be out of school forever, just, probably for the rest of this school year. By the time September comes, hopefully all this mess will be cleared up. And they'll be going back to regular school, I hope, with both fingers crossed. I was a little nervous about the homeschooling thing, but I got even more nervous when I brought all the stuff home for the kids. And, Maggie had Maggie's teacher is, the most organized person on the planet. She had a reusable bag for Maggie's stuff and her students' stuff. Whereas Orion's teacher, she was just like, nah, I don't got time to be fancy with reusable bags. She just put everything in a trash bag and was like, here's your stuff. Maggie's teacher had everything in a reusable bag. And I had it all pulled out and she had it labeled all so nicely. Week 1, week 2. She gives you the dates on the stuff when they're supposed to start and what lessons they're supposed to do. What you show them and what they're supposed to do on their own. She can get you a little paper that outlines the timeline of when they're supposed to do each lesson and everything. So I'm pretty confident with Maggie's stuff, which is the one I was worried about. I'm pretty confident with Maggie's stuff that I'll be fine with Maggie. Now, Orion's stuff, Orion's old enough to know what he has to do. So I wasn't really nervous about his stuff. But with Maggie and learning how to read and everything, she even put in notes that, even though we're teaching the Common Core way, you don't have to teach that way at home. And I'm like, you got doggone right, I don't got to teach that way at home because I don't know how to do that. And it's funny that she said that because I was just watching yesterday Crafting and Chatting with Eli here on YouTube. She's a teacher who also randomly puts up YouTube videos. And she was saying about, everybody take a deep breath. It'll be okay. I know a lot of parents are nervous about, she eased my mind a lot when it came to being scared about homeschooling the kids. And then after I seen Maggie's teacher and how she had everything organized, I was like, okay, I got this. I can do this. Not a problem. It was just sad because when we went to go pick up their stuff, the smaller kids didn't understand why they couldn't hug their teachers goodbye. And when you walked around the corners, the teachers would, say the kids' name and wave hi to them. Just so that they weren't all sad about what's going on. The teachers were all dressed up like old McDonald's characters and hot dogs and all kinds of Dr. Seuss characters and stuff. They were dressed up to kind of lighten the moods because, it's a sad time that you have to come pick up your kids' stuff because, everything that's going on. So I thought that was really cool. And then, the teachers outlined everything that you're going to need. They have you sign out the laptop for your child because they're thinking about letting us keep the laptops at the end of the year. But just in case they don't get, whatever funding or what have you they have you sign out the laptop for your kids so that they can do all their homeschooling stuff on the computer. Because Maggie will still have speech once a week with her speech therapist like she does at school. Because Maggie is a little bit developmentally delayed due to the seizures. So she still does speech therapy. My biggest part with Maggie and her speech is I'm hoping that one day she doesn't sound like a toddler anymore. Because that's how she gets her way with a lot of things. It's the fact that she sounds like she's like a toddler. But her speech therapist says she's doing fine and she'll probably graduate out of speech before... She was going to graduate out of speech before the school year was over with anyways. And I know Maggie can talk. Because she had no problem tattling on you about stuff like if you don't wash your hands, or if if Orion does something to her. She has no problem opening her mouth and telling you exactly what's going on. So I know she can talk like she's supposed to. Maggie just chooses not to. And that's the part that gets annoying, because she thinks that, doing like a baby does, and when they point and make that noise, I'm like, I'm sorry. Mommy doesn't understand that. So we've been working with her here at the house, mostly me, because she doesn't get to see Mr. Coffee too much since he works. But I've been working with her here at the house with, you can't just point and make a noise. You got to actually open your mouth and tell me what you want. We've also been making sure she's been reading at least one book every day. And she got a bunch of books. That's one of the sad things is, as much as I complained about the book fair, I'm going to miss the book fair, because that's how I got the kids new books. And they'll still have like an order form online. And I can order new books for them online. And that's great. Like, so we will be ordering more stuff from the book fair. And Orion was like, Mommy, he's asking about like all the stuff that he's going to miss about at school. Like, how is he going to go out to recess? I'm like, well, we can go outside at our house, like we've been doing for recess, if that's what you're worried about. And he's like, oh. And then he's like, what about school picture day? I am a photographer, sir. I can take your pictures all you want. And he's like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, Mommy used to take pictures. So I can still take your pictures if you want. If school picture day is something you're going to miss, I can make sure you have that experience. I have backdrops and everything. So yeah, so for those of you who didn't know, I did used to do photography for a few years, and I gave it up. I gave it up a few years ago. I went to school for it, and I was 2 credits away from graduating, but I got tired of wasting money on supplies and not using them. Like, they had us spend, a cornucopia amount of money on like camera equipment and stuff, and half the stuff that they told us that we needed for the school we didn't use. And at that time I wasn't balling. Not that I'm balling now, but I wasn't balling enough to be sitting there wasting money on stuff that I wasn't going to be using. And I'd be like, look, I can't afford to buy this setup because my family isn't exactly rich. And I'm afraid that if I buy this setup, they needed you to buy studio lighting for your house, wherever you lived, so that you could take and do your final project. The problem was the final project was taking outside, and it was to go to a park and take glamour shots of one of your friends. Well, if going outside and taking glamour shots of one of my friends requires studio lighting, where am I supposed to be plugging this stuff in at? Because if we're outside, I don't see a whole lot of stuff getting plugged up outside. I'm just saying. And so the teacher was like, well, you still need the lighting for like at least one of your project. I'm like, so I'm going to spend $400 on studio lighting for one project. And then I won't need it ever again, because my last course was a book course. It was like English or something, or the history of photography. So it wasn't like I needed it for that last course. And I literally was about to spend $400 on something that I was going to use once. I'm like, yeah, nah, that's not bargain shopping. I can't hang like that, gangsta. I can't do it. So I dropped out of photography school. Anything that, and they just kind of sucked the life of and joy out of it for me. So I just decided I was done with photography. But if my kids are going to miss having their pictures taken, I can take their pictures. I take their pictures all the time. We went to the park the other day and I took their pictures while they were at the park. So I was like, don't worry about stuff like that, dude. I'm like, you'll be back to school next year, but this year we're going to finish it out at home. We're going to have a good time. Just trying to boost their spirits about it, because it's a sad time for everyone. And I'm not trying to sit here and be Susie Downer or Debbie Downer, sorry if your name is Debbie, about the whole situation. Like, I love the fact that my kids are home. I'm not one of these people that is all sad and bummed that my kids are home. Yeah, they're driving me, they're nuts. Like, don't get it twisted. They are driving me freaking insane. But I love having them home. I'd rather them be home and driving me insane. I made them. Why wouldn't I want them at home? This is the safest place for them. I can keep an eye on them and keep them safe here. Why wouldn't I want them here? Now, on the days that they're driving me insane, I will put their little happy asses out on the porch, which I did yesterday for Maggie because she was driving me up the wall. Now, when I say put them on the porch, I know a lot of y'all are like, what does that mean? Exactly what I said. Put put them on the porch. Okay, you misbehave, you go sit on the porch, you get some fresh air, and clear all those crazy thoughts out of your brain before you come back in this house. That's what putting them on the porch means. Yeah, I literally will put my kids out on the porch, and people will walk by, and my kids out there looking like those dogs from the ASPCA commercial, and Sarah McLachlan's gonna walk up at any time and start singing Arms of an Angel. I don't care. I don't care. When you get all the craziness out of your brain, then you can come back and sit in the freaking house. Until then, you sit outside and get some fresh air, because obviously you've been tainted by the air in the house, and you need to get some fresh air and going into your brain. Oh my gosh, you guys. So yesterday was a little rough. I tried to record my Wip N Chat yesterday, and my mental state was just not there. And I was just like, I cannot record a video if my brain is not into it. Like right now, I'm fine. I'm just fine. Yesterday, I had so much stuff to do. I hate busy days. I hate busy days. So I had so much stuff to do yesterday that my brain just would not let me calm down enough to record a video. So I tried, and I failed miserably. And I was like, you know what? There's always tomorrow. I'll put it up later in the afternoon. They won't seem to care. Because I've noticed that watch times are down on YouTube because a lot of people are watching like TV shows that they've missed and everything else. And I'm like, I can't blame them. I'm doing the same thing, minus it's videos that I've missed on YouTube. Because of the kids being home, I've been super busy, so I haven't been able to watch my normal channels like I normally do. So I've been catching up on YouTube. I've been cleaning my house, because that's a thing now. Now Mr. Coffee's like, it's your time to shine, hun. Now you have to make sure the house stays clean so that we don't get the germs. Because with him being the only person going out of the house, even though we still don't have a case of the coronavirus in my town as of right now, I still disinfect it every night before, like when everybody goes to bed. When he comes home, he strips down because he's not walking in this house with the clothes that he had on, because Lord knows what's on him. So I have him strip down. Of course, the kids are like in their rooms or something. He strips down. He goes and gets a shower. I throw his clothes in the laundry along with the clothes that we use for the day. Wash a load of laundry. And then I disinfect the house after everybody goes to bed. Like I just, take a Lysol wipe and Lysol spray and wipe all the door handles and everything else. Like this isn't OCD's paradise. Like this is my paradise right now. Like I get to clean and nobody's going to say nothing to me or look at me crazy because, oh, she's cleaning too much. Nope. There's a virus out there. Got to make sure everything's clean and sanitized. I clean and sanitize the doors coming in and going out of the building. Okay. Like the people around here, the people that own Complex here are slumlords, okay? They just suck at life and everything about it. So they haven't been around to clean our apartment, like the inside of it, the common areas, and God knows how long. So I was like, you know what? And this multiplexer is going to break. I can see a crack in it already. I don't know how I'm so rough with them that they're breaking, but it's going to break. Either way. But the people that own this apartment complex, they don't really do a whole lot with cleaning and everything else. So, like, if you want it clean, you do it yourself. And I don't have a problem doing it to, like, the doors or the foyer way area where everybody comes in at. Now, I'm not going to, like, say the business center down the hall and cleaning that up. That's not a thing. That's not gangsta. But I'll clean, like, the doors and stuff. And I've been wiping down the handles of the doors and just because there's other little kids that live in my building that's besides mine. And I feel like I don't want them to get sick. The apartment complex obviously doesn't give two flying craps if we get sick. They're just caring about, making sure you send their rent in. So I'm like, well, I'll just clean it myself. It's just door handles. I'm not cleaning the entire freaking door. Now, I'm not, like, cleaning the glass or anything. Like, I will wipe it down. But I'm not full-fledged like Hank Hill going at it, trying to clean the windows or anything. So, just enough to keep the germs out of the building. I don't care if anybody else's building gets in. My building ain't gonna be getting sick. I ain't got time for that over here. Anyways, so I've been trying to keep everybody's spirits up and, trying not to get all sad and depressed about what's going on. The kids start homeschooling tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about it because during homeschooling, as Orion calls it, that will be his new business hours. He got a desk and chair for his room, like Maggie did. And he says he now has business hours. And his business hours are from 9 to 5. And that's when he will be doing his homework and doing all his math stuff and, doing what he has to do. And if I need to bother him, I need to, make an appointment to let him know. And I'm like sitting here as he's telling me that, because he's all excited that he has a desk in his room, he feels official. And he goes, but I'm going to have to make sure mommy doesn't disturb me because mommy likes to come sit in my room and watch me play my video games. But there will be no game playing today. I'm just sitting there like, why you ratting me out? One, why you always telling on me? Why these kids can't keep their mouth shut and why they always telling on me? And Mr. Coffee's just like, you're not in here playing video games, are you? I might be. How about you mind your business? Like, why you messing with me? Plus, Orion playing video games, I watch, but I bought Animal Crossing for myself, and I haven't been able to play it because him and Maggie have been, like, taking turns. Of course, the only time they ever play nicely, they've been taking turns playing Animal Crossing, and I'm like, okay, I bought this for me, and now everybody and their mama playing it except for me. Like, they gave Mr. Coffee a turn on it, and I'm like, that's not how this is supposed to go. Like, this is my game. I bought it. Like, what's happening? And between me with the stroke and Mr. Coffee with his back and everything else, we've just been a hot mess this month. So, like, I've been trying to keep spirits up. All right, sorry, I'm taking a sip of my coffee. Stay hydrated, people. Anyways, so it's just been a hot mess in the house. So we've been trying to keep each other busy and not drive each other insane. I have learned that Maggie does like to show out. By show out, I mean she can read when she wants to, okay? Let me explain. Maggie will read if she's reading to somebody that's not me and Mr. Coffee. If I FaceTime, say, Laura Law, or Becky's Madness for Crafting, or my dad, she'll read just fine. Like she's been reading for years. But if I get Maggie to read to me, it is the most frustrating thing on the planet because y'all remember the thing I used to always say when Maggie was learning how to read, pizza. She does that still. She still does the guessing thing. And she doesn't do it when she's reading to other people, just when she's reading to me or Mr. Coffee. Now, she was getting read to by Orion the other day, and Orion told her to knock it off. He's like, I know you know that word. And him being just that little bit of assertive with her, she stopped guessing and actually started, like, listening to what he was saying. But when I pulled that, she threw a fit and, like, left. And I was just like, well, how come Orion can do it and I can't do it? So Maggie's been reading a book once a night to her brother. She reads him bedtime stories, as she likes to call it. He just calls it helping her read, but she thinks she's doing something by giving him a bedtime story at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So we have, like, all this stuff planned for the kids for making sure that they get their lesson plans done and setting up their laptops. Like, their laptops are currently charging now. I don't trust Maggie with hers in her room because I know if I left Maggie's laptop in her room, I would come back and it would have all kinds of llama stickers all over it. Because somehow, even though I haven't gotten a pack of llama stickers in God knows how long, she has llama stickers hidden in her room somewhere. And she likes to pull them out randomly and stick them on things. So, yeah. So, I'm going to be taking Maggie's laptop every night. But Orion will keep his so that in the morning when he wakes up, he can start immediately. Because every morning his teacher asks them a question. I don't know what's up with the question thing, but she apparently asks them a question every morning and they answer the question before saying, like, the Pledge of Allegiance and what have you. So he will keep his laptop in his room. Maggie will have her laptop in my room. She will have it in her room when she's working on it. But other than that, like, it'll be in my room. And I have the camera set up in her room. Like, if you guys remember those little security cameras I got. I have as I call them, the nanny cam in Maggie's room just to keep an eye on her for when she gets the laptop, just to make sure she's not abusing the laptop. Orion has the nanny cam in his room as well, but I don't see him abusing the laptop. He's super excited. He already had a laptop, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be strong enough to take on whatever it is he has to do for school. So I opted that they send him his laptop from school since he was better acquainted with that laptop than the one that he just got. That was his dad's, that his dad is helping him, like, get all the bugs and whatever out of it. So Orion will keep his laptop. Maggie will have hers in our room. And then, like, every morning when they wake up, they will do one lesson before breakfast. They will do 2 lessons before lunch. And then by the time Mr. Coffee comes home, they'll have all their lessons done for the day. Like, I already have a plan set out in motion for they're homeschooling, and I'm pretty excited about it. So there's that. Now, let's talk about this MRI that I had to go get yesterday. When I went to the neurologist, what was that, like a week ago? Like a week ago or so. 2 weeks ago, I think, actually. They told me that they wanted to have an MRI done. They're like, have you had any MRIs done? I'm like, I don't think so. I had a CAT scan done, but I don't think I had an MRI done. And they're like, well, we're going to order you an MRI without contrast. Now, the contrast is the stuff that they put inside of you that, goes through your veins, and they see if, there's anything misfiring or what have you. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can handle that. You just sit in a box for 10. I'm thinking you sit in a box for 10 minutes. They look at your brain and go, oh, you're fine. Whatever. Wrong. Nope. I was very wrong. I get to this place yesterday, and I remember the lady telling me, make sure you don't have any metal on your person when you go. Okay, cool. Now, with the virus and everything going on, we walk up to the hospital because Mr. Coffee had to take off work because he had to watch the kids while I was in the appointment. We all walk up into the hospital. Before you even enter the hospital, there's those ladies again sitting there with their mask on, full battle rattle for the hospital. Got the mask on, got the face plate on, got the gloves on, got the gown on, and they're like, whose appointment is it for? I'm like, it's for me. And she's like, all right, good. Yeah, they need to go. I was like, I'm sorry, say what? They wouldn't let my kids or my husband in the hospital with me. They're like, no, they need to go. Only you are allowed back there. You can't take your family back there. Like, they couldn't enter the hospital. And it was for safety measures, and I'm aware of that. But at first, I, almost had a full-fledged panic attack. And I don't think the questions that they ask you at the hospital are fair. Because the lady was, asking me questions. She's like, have you ran a fever in the last 24 hours? I'm like, no. And she's like, have you been short of breath? I'm like, lady, I'm overweight. Are you kidding me? I got out of breath just walking up here from the sidewalk. I have asthma. And she's like, well, have you been, excessively out of breath? No. All right. She takes my temperature, takes my license. She goes, okay, you're going up to this floor, so you're going to want to go down the hall, make a right, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Everybody in this hospital has on a face mask. Everybody. Patients. Everybody. Some lady walks past me and she goes, man, where's your face mask? I'm like, I wasn't given one. She goes, did you not take one at the door when you came in? I'm like, no. Was I supposed to? And she goes, oh my God, yes. So she reaches out of nowhere, throws me a face mask, and she's like, here, put this on. Use this hand sanitizer. I'm like, okay. I felt like I was going to prison or something, the way she just whipped out this face mask and was like, here, put this on, use this hand sanitizer. All right, you're good to go. Now you can go wherever you're going. By the time I finished putting on everything the lady gave me, I was so confused as to what exactly just happened that I couldn't remember why I was at the hospital. I was sitting there going, where am I going again? Oh yeah, radiology. I had the paper in my hand, so I was like, oh, I'm going to radiology. Okay. So I go find radiology. And this little guy comes out. He's like, well, hello. And I was like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, I'm good. All right. So he goes, he's asking me questions and everything. And they have me fill out paperwork. And he goes, all right, now it looks like you're fine. But do you have on a bra that has underwire? I'm like, I got to support the girls. And he goes, okay, boo-boo. Well, we're going to go unsupported into the machine because that can ruin the machine. And I was like, oh, okay. He goes, do you need a room? Before he said, do you need a room? I had already whipped the bra off. I whipped it off like a whip. I was just out of the other side of my shirt sleeve. I had already whipped it off. I was like, nah, I don't need a room. I'm good. I only put this bra on for this appointment, so I'm good. And he just starts laughing. He's like, all right, honey, we're going to go ahead and get you in this machine now. Now, this little guy, I've heard this accent before. He had a country accent, and all I could think of was, you ain't from around these parts. Because nobody around these parts says molasses, okay? I haven't heard molasses since I lived down south in South Carolina. So I was like, oh, for those of you who are new and don't know, Miss Coffee is from South Carolina. So I'm just like, okay. And he goes, looks like you're getting MRI today. And I was like, yep. And he goes, looks like you're getting it with and without contrast. And I'm like, yeah, no, whoa, what? No. Because I know what contrast means. With contrast means you're getting a shot of this stuff and you're going to be tasting nasty metal. Like, I'm just sitting there like, oh, no. I'm getting it without contrast. And he goes, dear. They ordered it with contrast. I'm like, the hell they did? I got the paper right here. And he goes, I have my orders right here that were revised yesterday. You're to get it with contrast and without contrast. I was like, God dang it. He goes, you ain't scared of needles, are you? Look at all those tattoos on your arm. I'm like, look, listen. That's different, okay? Getting a tattoo and getting a shot are completely different. One, you're actually watching something penetrate through your skin and inject you with medicine. Tattooing, you don't see it go into your arm, and it's injecting ink into your skin that is permanent, that, leaves a pretty picture or what have you. And he was just like, well, either way, you got to get it with contrast. Don't worry, you won't feel a thing. And I'm like, the hell I won't. You obviously don't know me. And he goes, now this whole procedure is going to take 35 minutes. Now take it. I have kids waiting for me outside in the car. And I'm like, 35 minutes? What the hell? And I see headphones. So I'm like, oh yeah, he going to have me jamming out to music. Wrong. Nope. I was just like, he's like, the machine's a little loud, so I do have these headphones for you. I'm like, oh, okay. Now, I remember when Maggie had to get an MRI done. She had headphones, but her headphones had music. But that was also in Pennsylvania. So I was just like, okay. And he goes, we're just going to lay you down here. He lays me down on the little table. He puts the headphones on me, and I adjust the headphones. And he goes, okay, now, you're not claustrophobic, are you? I'm like, no. And he just out of nowhere pulls this little mask thing out and puts it over top of me. And he goes, all right, buckle up. We're getting ready to go. And I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, this first part is going to take about 23 minutes. And I'm thinking, what the hell am I supposed to do in here with no music, no sound, no nothing for 23 minutes? Y'all, why did I start making up stuff in my head of, like, they had like these little imprints in the side of the machine that looked like it had been mispainted or something? I'm up here making up like clouds, like they're like, I'm looking at them like they're clouds. Like, I'm like, oh, well, that one looks like a bunny. Oh, that one's cute. What is that one gonna be? Like, I'm up here making up make-believe things in my head just to keep myself entertained. And it worked, because I was in there, what felt like 5 minutes was actually apparently 23 minutes. So he comes back out, he pulls me out of the machine. Now take it. He doesn't take the head thing off of me, okay? And he goes, just stay incredibly still. I'm going to go ahead and give you the contrast. And I'm thinking, well, how am I going to drink it through the thing? And he goes, no, this is the shot kind. I'm like, so you got a shot glass and I drink it? And he goes, no, honey, not that kind of a shot. We're going to give you a shot with a needle. I'm like, you're going to need more nurses, because there's no way in the world. Like, I tried to stay brave because Mr. Coffee wasn't there to hold my hand. But you guys, really on the inside, I was crying like a big baby because I freaking can't stand needles. And I'm like, please, dear God, don't let this hurt, because I would hate to flinch and like knock over this whole table. And the guy was like, don't worry, our needles are a lot smaller than what you would use to get an IV. I'm like, I don't care how big or small it is. That's not my issue. My issue is that you're stabbing me with something. Like, that's my issue. And he's like, don't worry, you'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you obviously don't know me very well. Well, they go to shoot me with the stuff, and he gives me the shot. I flinch when he puts it in, and then I didn't even realize that he took it out. I just realized, like, he was taping my arm up. Which, what is that tape that they use? Because I'm just saying, that stuff is stronger than most people's religion. I'm just saying, like, that's some strong tape. It was trying to take the skin off my arm yesterday when I was in Laura Law Craft Corners Live. And I was like, look here. I can't be having y'all taking the skin off my arm now. I got enough problems. I ain't trying to have the skin off my arm being one of them. So y'all gonna have to do something with all this damn tape. I can't handle that tape. Anyways, so they give me the contrast. They put me back in the machine. I'm in the machine for another 15, 20 minutes. Altogether, the procedure lasted about 35 minutes. I get out of the machine, and the guy goes, okay, your doctor will have your results in 2 days. So in 2 days' time, your doctor will call you and let you know what the results of your CAT scan or your MRI was. And if you need any additional tests, they'll call and have that ordered, and then you can come back. And I was like, all right. Well, looking at this guy, he was just this little guy, and I was like, okay, I have to ask. And I was trying not to be rude when I asked, because, you know, you don't want to be like, hey, you're not from around here, where the hell are you from? So I was like, if you don't mind me asking, what part of Georgia are you from? Now, I'm pretty good when I hear accents of trying to figure out where people are from, especially if it's in the U.S. If it's outside of the U.S., yeah, no. To me, that's just, you have an accent. But if it's in the U.S., and especially if it's a Southern accent, I can do a pretty good guesstimation of where this person is from. So I was just kind of like, where are you from in Georgia? And the guy looks at me, he goes, you got a pretty good ear. How'd you know I was from Georgia? I'm like, because only people from Georgia say molasses the way you said molasses, because he said that the contrast is slow like molasses. And that's not something you hear out here in the Midwest. So I'm just like, what part of Georgia are you from? And he goes, well, you sound like you're more Southern too, like Alabama or something. I'm like, close, but not really. I'm like, I'm from South Carolina. And he goes, yeah. He goes, you've moved around a lot because you've picked up, you know, a little bit of an accent from all over, huh? I'm like, yeah, that's why my accent sounds funny, but yours sounds like you straight up just moved here from Georgia. And he goes, actually, about 3 weeks ago, I moved here from Georgia. Like right before the pandemic happened, he moved here from Georgia. And he's like, I'm from around the capital of Georgia. And I was like, but I knew it had to be Georgia because you got that Georgia country slang going on. And I could hear it. And he just starts laughing. He goes, you'd be surprised how many people get that wrong. I'm like, no true Southerner would get wrong a Georgia accent. Like, you don't confuse Georgia accents from like an Alabama accent. And my mama, oh, God love her, my mama has an Alabama accent, and she never got rid of it. For as much as we moved around, she never got rid of her accent. So my mom's still just as country as she wants to be. And so when I hear accents, I'm pretty good at guessing where the people are from. So I finish up with my MRI appointment. I go out to go find Mr. Coffee in the car with the kids. And I'm thinking, oh, God, he's probably sitting there like, what the hell is taking so long, blah, blah, blah. Now, Mr. Coffee's a very patient person. So, like, I knew he wouldn't be, like, upset or anything. But in my mind, he just sat in the car with Maggie, and Maggie was doing the most that day. It was one of those days where Maggie spent a lot of the time that we were home on the porch because she was misbehaving. And I'm trying to figure out where my plastic stops so I can put my thing there. Right there. So I'm just sitting there, and I see Maggie climb over the seat of Mr. Coffee's car when she sees me, and I'm like, what is going on? Now, I'm a little woozy because, one, the thought of them stabbing me with something makes me lightheaded. And two, I also had to have blood drawn. So I was a little, like, unsteady. So Mr. Coffee jumps out of the truck, and he comes over to me and helps me get in the car. And he goes, are you all right? And I'm like, they took blood. I didn't realize they were taking blood. They did take blood before I had the MRI done. And because my neurologist asked for some more blood to be taken for more tests that she's running. And that was another thing that I didn't realize that they were going to be doing. So, like, I was a little bit lightheaded, and I hadn't eaten that day, which, no, that's on me. I don't usually eat breakfast or lunch. I usually wait until dinner, just because if I eat breakfast and lunch, I won't want dinner. So I try to not eat them so that I actually have an appetite for dinner. And so I was a little lightheaded, and Mr. Coffee's like, we need to get you something to eat. Where do you want to go? And I'm like, let's go to Culver's. Now, Culver's is a burger restaurant here in Williston. I still would rather have a Burger King, but, you know, you got to take what you can get. And we get into the drive-thru, and we order our food, and it's one of those places where they give you, like, the thing to put on your door handle. Like, that you get a number to put on your door handle, and you park in this parking spot, and then they'll bring your food out to you. And especially since everywhere around now has the no contact. Like, I ordered pizza from Pizza Hut last week, and they had a option where I could have no contact with the delivery driver, and the delivery driver would just literally put my pizza by my door. And I'm like, no, I think I can grab a pizza from the freaking pizza delivery person. Like, come on now. So this is how this burger joint does this. They put the little thing on your door handle, and then they come out and they bring you your food on a tray, and you just grab your food. So I was like, all right. I'm like, but I had to get blood drawn. And whenever I have to get blood drawn, I always get ice cream because I'm a big kid. So I was like, I got blood drawn. And he goes, you did? I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, they sell ice cream here. We'll get you ice cream. I'm like, thank you. The kids are like, can I get ice cream? I'm like, no, you can't get ice cream. I had to get blood drawn. You did. And Jordan just looks at me. He's like, hun. I'm like, fine, get them ice cream. I was just messing with the kids. I was going to get them ice cream anyway for behaving for their dad while I was in there. And Maggie's like, Mommy, I got to fly over Daddy's seat. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, she was messing with something. And Mr. Coffee had something that scared, like his smoke alarm detector thing that he has to wear on his clothes when he's on location. It was in the car and she stepped on it and it went off and it scared her to the point where she jumped up out of her seat. And when she jumped up out of her seat, she flew into the front seat. So I was like, oh, okay. So she's like, I flew, Mommy. I'm like, that's wonderful, dear. That's great. And I'm looking at Mr. Coffee like, why is our baby flying in the car? And then he explains to me what happened. I was like, oh, okay. So we went and got food and came back. And Mr. Coffee's like, well, what are you doing for dinner? I'm like, I don't know. But unless you're cooking it, I'm not cooking. I'm too tired. I am exhausted. I'm like, I'm just going to lay here for a second. And I was like, hold up, I can't lay here. I need to go take the dogs out. Well, he went to the bathroom, and I waited until he went to the bathroom because Mr. Coffee has a bad habit of treating me like I can't do anything after I have procedures done. So I was like, I waited until he went to the bathroom. I was like, all right, guys, behave for Daddy. I got to go walk the doggies. And they're like, okay. Kids don't care. But, of course, Maggie rats me out. As soon as I hit the door and I close the door behind me to go start walking the dogs, I hear Maggie in the background. Dad, Mommy went to go walk the dog. Y'all, why is she snitching on me? Why is she constantly snitching on me? I'm like, look, chick, you and I are going to have words if you do not knock it off and stop telling on me. Like, seriously, like, stop. And I open the door. I'm like, snitch. And she goes, I told Daddy on you. And then she just kind of runs away. I'm like, you know what? I've had enough of this Maggie mess. So yeah, so that's how the MRI went yesterday. I will know tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Either tomorrow or Thursday, I'll know what my results were. I'm pretty sure they're fine. But my biggest thing was after I got home and I had finished eating food and everything, and I'm sitting there and all I can taste, it tastes like I had a mouthful of pennies. I got a dog fur on my freaking canvas. Dog fur is everywhere, I swear. But it tastes like I had a mouthful of pennies. And I was like, well, this is a nasty taste. Like, what the hell? So, of course, I called my dad, and I'm like, are you supposed to taste, like, pennies after a procedure like this? And he's like, oh, yeah, you can taste metal for up to 24 hours. Y'all, why did I wake up this morning, which is Tuesday, and I was still tasting it? And I was like, oh, no. I had to eat something this morning. I had to eat something to get that taste out of my mouth. Like, I would have licked my own butthole just to get that taste out of my mouth. It was so gross. And I was just like, oh, taste, you're back again. Because it went away for a while, and then it came back, and I was like, this isn't fair. I'm like, am I going to be peeing funny colors? Like, I made sure to ask that question, because sometimes some of the stuff that they give you at the doctor's office will make you pee funny colors. And they won't tell you, and then you'll be caught off guard thinking something wrong with you. You're up there peeing purple stuff. Anyways, that, and I had to get another prescription filled yesterday, and when I was talking to the doctor there at the MRI place, and this is like, they were trying to figure out stuff for my blood pressure, and they're like, if you have thoughts of suicide, give us a call. I'm sorry, say what? Why is it everything that you're giving me, if I have, one of the side effects is thoughts of suicide? I'm like, I understand that suicide, where it's not a laughing matter, it's a very serious matter, but why is it that side effects nowadays are suicide? Like, why is it that everything makes you want to kill yourself? I'm like I don't have enough problems, and now I got to worry about watching myself because suicide is a side effect of this medication that I'm on. So it's either have high blood pressure or think about killing yourself. Like, what the hell? And she goes, only, 51% of our patients that take this medication have thoughts of suicide. And I'm like, thoughts of suicide? What? I'm like, I'm tired of taking these medications where the side effects are worse than what you really have. Like, oh, what's that? You got an upset stomach? Take this chalky medicine. it could cause a heart attack, but you won't have an upset stomach. I'm like, I guess you can't have an upset stomach if you have a heart attack because you're too busy worried about the heart attacking you versus your stomach being upset. This is why I don't like going to the doctors, y'all. I swear this is why I don't like going to the doctors. Everything you get nowadays, the side effect is worse than what you actually have. And I'm like, at this point, I'd rather just deal with what I have. Shoot. Good gravy. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee now. My throat's getting a little dry. So stay hydrated, people. So yeah, so we're just trying to make the best of a bad situation. Trying to keep everybody's heads on straight and, you know, the usual. So, nothing too exciting happening here. Mr. Coffee is still waiting to be called off of work. We're not sure what we will do, because I heard that the unemployment site was down because so many people filed for unemployment, and I get it. I would be filing for unemployment too, except for the fact that I work from home, and all I really have to do is talk, and fortunately for me, my line of work, so to say, isn't affected by the virus, so I can still sit at home and talk. Now, there's just tiny humans in my house, so I can't make as long videos. Like Maggie came out a few minutes ago when I paused, and she was like, do you ever get tired of talking? You talk all the time. I'm like, I know. Mommy never stops talking. This is just a thing. She goes, I'm not going to be like that when I grow up, am I? Maybe. You're like that now, so, you know, you very well could be like Mommy. But again, I'm Southern, so I like to talk. I can talk all day. And that's always, it's always funny when, like, the kids recognize that I'm talking and they know I'm not talking to anybody. And they're just kind of like, my mom does YouTube where she talks to herself. I don't talk to myself, so to say. I'm recording a video that other people are going to watch and enjoy. And it's funny because I had a friend of my husband's message me yesterday, and he was like, hey, I just started a YouTube channel. I guess he does gaming. And I don't know the name of his channel. But he apparently started a YouTube channel, and he was watching one of my videos, and I guess you can hear my audio in the background. And he goes, do you care if your voice is heard back there? I'm like, oh, I don't give a crap. Nobody from your channel is going to know me. So we're good. So I was like, yeah, I don't really care. I'm like, it is what it is. But I'm explaining to the kids that people watch because it's enjoyable to hear stories about them and the dogs and everything else. Which, surprisingly, the dogs are just really confused right now as to why the tiny humans haven't left. Like, when Mr. Coffee gets up in the morning, they're used to us getting up like an hour or so after him and then getting the kids ready, and then we all go out to drop the kids off at school. Our normal routine has been interrupted, so the dogs are just beside themselves. Killian woke up the first couple of nights that the kids have been on quarantine. Killian would wake up at the time we would normally leave and be whining at the door like, why aren't we gone? Why aren't we leaving? What is happening? Why are you not waking up? We're going to be late. And he just would sit there and whine for about 35 minutes. And then he finally stopped whining. But now he gets up in the morning. He sees the kids here. And he like looks back at me while I'm getting dressed. And then he just comes and lays back down. He's like, yeah, I'm not ready to start the day. I'm like, well, you best to get ready. Because if I have to go out there, we're all going out there. Okay, we all got to deal with this madness. And yesterday, Maggie is trying to ride the dogs, and the dogs keep falling over. Well, I guess Killian decided to get payback on Maggie because she kept trying to jump on his back and ride him like a horse. Killian doesn't play that game, okay? Killian, he's not the type, like, she can do that to Daisy, and Daisy will just sit there and take it and just kind of look at you like, help me. Killian was like, nah, I'll get you back. So when Maggie stopped trying to ride him like a horse, she went off and started playing and doing something. He comes up behind her and then jumps on her back and then just sits on her. Just sat on her, just sitting there. And she's like, Mommy, help me. Killian's sitting on me. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help you because weren't you just sitting on Killian like half an hour ago? This is just payback from Killian. This is just payback. Also, another reason why I want to cancel my subscription to 2020. Why did I get an advisory on my phone? Got like a little advisory on my phone, you know, that little thing that pops up and it's like, doo-doo-doo, new winter weather coming. And I'm like, I'm sorry, say what now? Why about to smack this lady in her face? Why are we getting snow? Why? I knew it. I knew it. I freaking knew it. I knew it. Yesterday, I called it when I was trying to record. I was like, I really hope that we don't get any winter weather. And I'm like, just me saying it, I probably jinxed myself. Well, I was right. Apparently, we're due to get snow on Thursday. I'm like, what? I give up on 2020, okay? I have completely given up. I want a refund. I want a do-over. I want to cancel my subscription. I've hit my 90 days. Let me cancel my subscription and get a refund, because I can't with this year. This year has just, if this year starts off this bad, it better end awesome, because oh my God, I can't. I have given up my subscription 2020, and I just want my refund. I've had my 90 days. I don't like it. It just wasn't for me. Let me get a refund. So we have rain coming today, which is Tuesday. Tomorrow is supposed to be chilly and cold, down in the 20s and 30s. And then what? Thursday is when it's supposed to snow, and I'm like, you know what? I give up. I just give up on all of it. Just take the whole damn year and throw it in the trash, because I'm sick of it. I've had enough. Like, you ever had one of those days where you're just like, throw the whole day in the damn trash? I don't care. Like, just take this whole day and throw it in the trash, because it is garbage. That's how this whole year has been. Like, if you would have told me at Christmas that before the 90 days was up for the first 90 days of 2020, I would have a stroke, I would have told you you're full of garbage. I done had a stroke. There's a pandemic going on. Like, kids are out of school for the rest of the school year. I would never have predicted any of this would have been happening at this time by Christmas last year. And it's just baffling me how everything is going this year. And I'm just like, you know what? I've had enough. Cancel the subscription. Throw the whole damn year in the trash. I don't care. Just throw the whole damn year in the trash. I keep hearing this weird noise. And then I look up and I realize it's Orion's tablet. Now that they're home, their tablet, like, their friends are messaging them. I think he's playing with Skylar, which is Jin's son. They've been playing a lot of video games together, and I'm like, look, if you're gonna play with Skylar, then you gotta play with Maggie too, because I gotta record videos. And he's like, okay, Mom, go record videos. Sorry, I'm looking for my next color. It's this one that looks like soup. I don't know why it makes me think of soup. 898. There it is. Makes me think of, like, cream of mushroom soup. This symbol does. I don't know why. Also, I'm debating. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am enhancing my canvas for my Into Wonderland. And by enhance, I mean I got a hold of my friendly neighborhood drill dealer, T-Mall, and had her, like, I went and purchased some of her diamonds to enhance my canvas. Now, I've had quite a few people asking me what enhancements did I use on my canvas, and I'm like, honestly, I don't want to tell anybody what enhancements I'm using, because I want to just see how it turns out first. But if you would like to enhance your canvas, you just let T-Mall know what exactly, you know, if you need help with it, you would let her know how exactly you're enhancing it and see if she can help you pick colors, which is what I did. And right now I have I enhanced the eyes. I'm debating enhancing the teeth. I'm not sure, because the Cheshire Cat, you see his smile. Not so much the teeth. You see the smile whenever he's fading in and out. You don't really see his teeth, I don't think. Mr. Coffee wants me to enhance the teeth, which probably means I'll probably end up enhancing the teeth because Mr. Coffee wants it. But I don't know if I want to enhance his teeth or not. But I already enhanced the eyes, and I can already tell you it's going to look great when it's done. And my dad's like, why are you trying to give those kids nightmares? I'm like, I'm not trying to give the kids nightmares. It's going in my room. Like, this is a piece for my room. So if anybody's going to get nightmares, it's going to be me. It's going to be me. Sorry, I had to do it. So I'm like, I'm not trying to give anybody nightmares. And if the kids are in my room in the dark time, then they deserve to have nightmares, because why are they in my room? They have their own rooms to go into. Why would you come into my room? So I'm excited. So I did order some enhancements, and I was worried that they weren't going to match, but they matched just fine. So I'm super excited. So I hopefully will have this done here soon. I'm trying to stop drawing and coloring long enough to work on this, because I do want to slash some of these canvases out of my stash since I can't mail them off. I went to the mailbox yesterday to go check my P.O. box and to send off some Girl Scout cookies to Rachel Ray. And apparently, I can't ship anything internationally right now unless it's an essential because they have shut down the post office where Rachel lives. And so the lady was like, it'll probably be sitting for about a month or so. I'm not going to lie. She goes, if you send anything out, it'll probably sit for a while because of lockdown. And I was like, really? And I was like, I really don't want it sitting there for a month because what if like mice or something get into it and then like she goes to open her box and Tom and Jerry are in her Girl Scout cookies. Like I can't have her chasing Tom and Jerry around her house with a broom. So I'm like, I'm just going to hold on to these until, you know, this stuff is over, hopefully in a couple of months. Good thing is Girl Scout cookies can hold out. And if not, by the time everything is all said and done, I'm pretty sure they'll still be selling Girl Scout cookies. I can get her some more Girl Scout cookies if worse comes to worse, if they don't hold out, which they should, because I have a box of Girl Scout cookies from last year that are still good up in the cabinet. So I'm just going to hang on to her cookies until they allow me to ship something over to Ireland, because at this point, I don't want to send anything out, because unless it's within the U.S., everything else is shut down. And even a lot of places in the U.S. are shut down. I don't think people that are shut down are getting their mail or anything. So, yeah, I have to be careful with that. But just trying to keep everybody's spirits up, trying to keep everybody happy and in a good mood, trying to keep the house, you know, clean and sanitized and keep the kids from killing each other and me. And Mr. Coffee comes home and I'm still like in the daze and he's like, are you okay? It's been a day. And he's like, how many, like, I don't do timeout, if you guys didn't guess. I don't do timeout with my kids. I do go to the porch. So he'll be like, Mr. Coffee will come home and be like, how many hours did people spend on the porch? I'm like, well, your daughter was out there for about 30 minutes. And don't worry, on the porch, she has chalk. She has sidewalk chalk she can play with. And she has her scooter where she usually tries to ride it back and forth on the tiny little porch. So it's not like she's out there just, you know, bald porch just sitting out there. She has stuff she can do out there, so it's not even really like a punishment. It's just something where I can keep an eye on her and she's getting some fresh air to get all that like hot air she got inside of her built up out. So yeah, but we're doing just fine over here. I hope you all are doing well as well. I thought it was funny because I saw a post and I put it up in my group, Crafters Anonymous with Miss Crocheting Coffee and Rachel Ray. I put a post up in my group of police officers. I don't know where they're at, but they were singing the Baby Shark song in the middle of the street. And I'm like, that's when you want to just look at your life and go, I finished my 90-day subscription to 2020. Can I get a refund, please? Can I cancel my subscription? Can I get a refund, please? Thank you. If I ever open my doors or my windows and I hear the police department here singing Baby Shark, I am going to go to jail. Just know this. Know this, I am going to jail, okay? I finally have gotten that child to stop singing that song, even though I don't know what's worse, the Baby Shark song or Jingle Bells. But I finally got her to stop singing the song, to then see it this morning as the cops were singing it to the people in the streets. And I'm like, look, I'm all for law enforcement. You know, I'm all for, you know, protect and serve and all that fun stuff. But somebody's going to have to protect and serve you from me if you come out into the middle of the street singing that freaking song. Oh, good God. Mothers with small children or even grandparents with small grandchildren. Yet, no, we don't want to hear Baby Shark. We've had enough Baby Shark. No do. Like, no. You will. In my house, that will get you chopped right in the esophagus. Right in the freaking esophagus. I can't do it. I can't. But with that said, folks, I hope that your subscription to 2020 is better than mine, because at this point I canceled my subscription. I want a full refund. I want a do-over. Anyways, I hope you guys are staying safe. If one more cartoon tells me to wash my hands, I'm gonna snap. So y'all keep Miss Coffee in your thoughts and prayers for her sanity, because I feel like I'm slowly losing it over here. So with that said, folks, I hope you all are having a great day, or you continue to have a great day. I'm going to get going to finish up this little section of Into Wonderland by JoJo's Arts and Diamond Art Club. It is looking spectacular. I love it. I think I'm working on the whiskers right now. And I hope to have this section done. Like, I'm going to continue working on it after I'm finished with my Wip N Chat. when all the craziness is said and done, I do want to do another giveaway. So, because I was alerted that I did hit 8,000 subscribers. So thank you to each and every one of you that subscribe, like, comment, on my videos, who come join me on live on Fridays. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. I'm just a country girl telling you stories about country ways of living. I'm just saying. And you guys come and show me the love every day. So I do appreciate each and every one of you. And I do have something special that I'm hoping to do whenever all this madness is over. But until then, you guys stay safe. Wash those hands, stay clean, and I will see you guys in my next video. But not before I remind you, if you're new to the channel and would like to see more random crazy videos just like this one, please, please, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to be notified anytime I randomly decide to put up a video. And believe me, it's random. With that said, folks, I'm now going to have to bid you adieu. But not before I remind you, like I always try to be kind, be courteous, be cool. Bye, guys.